Hi my friend, it's Pat Sloan here with my daily video. We've got a topic every day and it's a sit and chat format, which is sort of like if you just pop by my house and we were like, okay, what's been going on? What have you been doing? And that's what it's all about. I do have the topic of the day, which is on my daily calendar. Links are below. And if you're new here or have not yet subscribed, click the subscribe button and then the little bell. Click the like. Then Facebook knows you're watching. Or not Facebook, sorry, YouTube. YouTube knows you're watching, which is good for me, good for all of us. So the topic today is tips and tricks. So I'm going to roll that in with the primitive cross stitch, because these are the cross stitches that I am going to make into little mini quilts. So that's how I want to display them on the little rack. So let me show you in case you had not seen them. And this is actually what I'm going to show you is exactly the same thing you would do if you had just a quilt block. So these will end up being 6 inches. Here is a little Ackfeld hanger that this is a standing one, and this is just the top here. I'm going to talk you through the process. And okay, I thought I'd have it done, but it's not. So we'll talk through this part of it, and then maybe the next part the next time or another day. So this is a standing version, and then if you can see back, Norm is clipped. Of course, Norm is way too big for this, but that's clipped to the wall version. So you could have the same little Ackfeld hanger with the super cute thread and spool that I designed. So I just think it's so cute. Okay, back to this. Here was the first stitchery. Now this is something where there's one a month that's coming out, and here was the first one called Patriotism in Industry. My friend Cindy is stitching these because I don't stitch that fast and I can't stitch very much. So anyway, Cindy's doing all the cross stitch for me. On the first one, she did the beautiful border that comes with the pattern, but I said we're not going to do that border for all of them because it's really pretty, but it's very time consuming. It's probably takes her as long to do that border as it does to do the inside. Here was the second one, and this is where I'm going to put a little border on it and make it into a little quilt. And then the second one was called, hold on, here we go. It was called Joy and Contentment. So I'll link you up to the patterns. You can also subscribe to a subscription where these come to you every month from the Fat Quarter Shop. They'll ship them to you. And then the third one for this month is called Peace and Plenty. And she is a precious angel. Do you love angels? Oh, so pretty, right? With little quilt blocks and little flowers, and she's got cherries in her hands and sweet little wings. So yes, so sweet. So what I'm doing is I decided that I had this layer cake and some other fabric. Let me just put these guys up here. So I had this layer cake of Gypsy Soul. Here we go. And I had showed you, I auditioned these against that. And I think over the full year, for the most part, I think I can find something in here. If not, I can add a little something. But there's, you know, down into the red. So there's this whole really sweet stack. And then I also added yellow. So I had some grunge, this sort of gold that, you know, there's a little gold in a lot of these and a lot of the cross stitches. So what I'm doing is I am just going to show you, I'm not going to actually cut it on the table, but I am trimming this center piece to a 5.5 inch square. So I will be using, let's come down, where did I put the clicker? Oh, I put it back, excuse me, sorry. Okay, let's come down here. So I am centering the 5.5, which means, okay, here's a 5.5 mark. Well, that's way too close. It's right up to the basket. There's no seam allowance. So I have to pull it over, and I have to be sure on all 4 sides I have a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So like here I need to come up a little bit because there's way too much below there. So there we go. So it'd be something around like this. And when I trim it, I just think of this now as fabric, and I end up, here's the trimmings from this one here, from the strawberry basket. So these just come off, and I do not then handle the piece very much. I'm pretty much have these strips, which are 1.5. So I have the fabric strips cut that are 1.5 before I cut this. My sewing machine's on, it's all threaded, so I trim it, pick up the strips that I've cut, and go right to the machine. So you can see on here that I sewed the top and the bottom and then the sides. And because I was using a layer cake that had already used part of it, you can see I have a seam, which I don't care because I just wanted to use that piece of fabric. But if you are bothered by the seam, then if you use a layer cake that doesn't have something chopped out of it already, like I did. So like for this one, I will audition, and I might do a blue because there's a lot of blue in this particular angel. And so I might use, let's see, something with some print on it. Whoops, you can't see that, can you? This is just awkward today. I don't know why. Sorry, folks. Some days is more awkward than others to work in the corner like this. Okay, so here, see, like here's another one that I've already used part of it. But if I wanted to, I can audition. See, you can audition how it would look on there. I would maybe fold it up so I could see. And do I like that against there? So yeah, that's kind of pretty. I probably have to seam it again because I used, like, see, apparently used all my favorite ones first. Now this one, I will not put a border on it. I will just bind it, and I might bind it in that gold, or I might bind it in a blue. So that one I will do. Now the next thing is I am going to use Fusible Fleece. That is the product I'm going to put inside. So I have a backing square for these are 10-inch squares because it's a layer cake. I'm only going to need like 7 to really work with, but I'm not going to cut that. And this is really too big for borders, this print. You know, you would lose a lot for a 1.5-inch strip. So I'll put it on the back. So that'll be my back. And then I will come and let's just pull this guy off. And so I will just make my fusible batting. I will have it just a little bit bigger. Pull that out. Just a little bit bigger than the square. There we go. And I will fuse it. You fuse it with steam, and I will fuse it actually to the backing, to this. So I'll take the fusible fleece and I'm going to hold it up. Oops. So it has, I don't know that you can see any kind of shine, but there's a little bit of a shine on this side. This side does not have any, and you can feel it. So when you're holding it, you can actually feel that little shine, and that's the fusible. It's very light. So I would take this, then I would put a pressing cloth, which is basically just another piece of fabric. So I would put a pressing cloth on top, and I would steam that fusible to here. Okay, then I would trim this backing. Then I would take these two guys, right sides together, so leaving an opening, right? So, leave an opening in the bottom, turn it inside out. And then this would be, have a little bit of poof from the fusible fleece. And then, if I said batting, I'm wrong, I meant fleece. And then I would just top stitch, since it's been like a pillow, so then I would just top stitch around. And then I will also top stitch in here, which is the part I will show you the next time when I finish it. Finish it, yes, that would be a good thing. So that is my little tip. I like the fusible fleece for these kinds of small little projects, and I use them for table runners too. It has a nice firmness to it, and you can, like for cotton, I might fuse it to the backing of the top, which might be like the table runner. And it'll give it it'll make it like a firmness, so you won't have that sort of fluffiness that can happen with batting. So it's a different product. If you've never tried fusible fleece, you can get some. I've linked below. I need to give you an update for those of you who were supporting the drive for quilts for fire victims in Oregon with Heather's project. It's just been, you've had an amazing outpouring of quilts. She wrote and told me that they've pretty much met their goal. When she wrote me, they were at 769 quilts. They only need 800 for her area. So that is closed now. If you've already written her saying it's coming, it's counted, you know, they will be accepting them. Obviously, they have a lot of tops that are coming, and they have this whole team of people. This is only like phase 1 is getting everything in. Phase 2 is getting them all quilted, bindings put on, labels put on. Phase 3 for her and her community are to hand the quilts out. So she has a time span that they're working in because they have a goal of when they want to do a presentation for the communities. And so this is in Santiam Canyon, and the community leaders are, I'm not going to say this right, I'm sure, because I've never heard them pronounced before, but Ida Hanna, Detroit, I can say that, Gates, Mill City, Leons, and Muhammad, all in Mehama, M-E-H-A-M-A, Oregon. Those are the communities that the quilt drive was for. So that one's closed. Now, if you are a person running a quilt drive for disaster, or you know of one, you know of a community, of a group doing that, if the organizer would like me to share it with all of you, the organizer needs to contact me, pat@patsloan.com. I'm easy to get. You can direct message me at Facebook via my business page. Don't do my personal because I don't answer those. My business page. So, you know, go ahead, and if you have knowledge of somebody who is running a quilt relief drive for a disaster group, I would like to share another group, because there's still people, you know, it takes a little time for people to see what's going on and to get things out. And these almost 800 quilts were collected in less than 2 weeks. So, you know, the internet's a powerful thing, and you guys are amazing to share what's going on and to donate your quilts and your time. So, okay, remember, it's organizers. Just don't tell me we need some for California. Yes, we'd love to have somebody in California contact me, but I need the organizer to contact me, because I have to understand what's going on and be able to know when to turn it off when you have enough and that kind of a thing. So, alrighty, my friends. Also, Gret left a message here on YouTube for me that the Dear Jane quilt is actually at the where is it? Did I say that? No, that wasn't Gret who said that. It was somebody else. Where is it? No, it was Gret. She said that the Dear Jane, which is the Jane Stickle quilt, is at the Bennington, Vermont Museum, not the Shelbourne. Okay, so now we know. I didn't look it up. I just thought I knew. This is what happens when you think you know and you don't verify. You have the wrong information. So if you would remember to subscribe, like my video, all the links are below. I am so excited to see all of your going on a picnic blocks showing up in my group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. People have finished by noon. There were some of you that finished the whole top. You had everything ready to go, but to stick that block in and finish the other borders. So you are on top of it. You are on fire. So, okay, my friend, I love you. Mwah. I'll see you online.